Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I'm so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. I just heard, feel your magic. If you haven't been feeling your magic, you're going to. Your energy, your divine energy. That's so unique, so beautiful. And you're going to radiate that energy in the way that only you can. It's your magic. Alright, they told me specifically to begin with the Divine Masculine Healing Oracle. I don't usually start with an oracle this deep, but I'm going to listen to Spirit. I know there's a message in here for you. Thank you, Divine. What is coming through? And also, we all have masculine energy. So this isn't just for males. This is for anyone, because we all have feminine and masculine energies, okay? So this will speak to us all as long as this is your reading. Okay, so we've got two cards here. Tongarsuk, and Aries. All right, so I'm going to start with Aries. Let's see what's coming through this energy for you. I'm not going to read the whole thing because they are long, but I won't share the history of the god, okay? This is a really great oracle deck, though, if you're interested in purchasing it, but I'll read Aries' message. A hardened heart has served a purpose in protecting you. It is time to relinquish the hold of darkness and step back into flow. All right? Long ago, a part of the Divine Masculine's heart went to war and has yet to return. Traumas and behavior patterns that develop collectively can claw in so severely that they become the new norm for generations to come. Our inner masculine has become exceedingly adept at hardening the heart due to the archetype of the soldier and the stigma surrounding crying and exhibiting softer emotions. This energy presents as a battle wound with a layer of calcification over the top. It is a facade, a tough exterior protecting a wounded interior. It can feel like the braver choice to be stoic, but it inevitably leads to hollowness, numbness, and pain. Being cloaked in armor feels safe and protective. However, when worn after the war has ended, the armor becomes the problem. The weight of that armor turns from the object of your protection to the very thing weighing you down. Protecting your peace is essential, yet so is living. Allowing the piercing of the shield around your heart takes immense bravery. I'm going to move down here to the last paragraph. Sometimes the only way to survive hardship is to harden the heart for protection. Nonetheless, once the hardship is over, it no longer serves to be in protection mode. Seek assistance from mentors to help you melt the ice, keeping you from being vulnerable. You deserve to experience life from an open-hearted vantage point. Okay, this is about connecting with the softness of the heart chakra. Allowing energy to flow in and flow out. To be receptive and giving as well. I do encourage everyone to always speak protection and invoke protection over yourself and everything that you love. Because if we're honest, many times there are people who we don't even assume are against us, but they are. And so having a layer of protection around us is always a wonderful thing to do. But it feels like there has been a lot of spiritual warfare that you've had to encounter and that you've had to protect yourself from. And so Divine is saying that there is a certain softness that you can connect with. There is a certain level of receptivity that you can identify with and that you can connect with. Also, as I was preparing for the reading, there was this energy of love, connection that I was picking up on. It feels like a time of connection after a time of friction. I'm actually going to share with you something that Spirit brought through, okay, as I was shuffling the cards. It says, the wedge between you and your divine lover has dissipated. It's safe to lean in. Your celebration of true love breaks the spell of separation. So, for some of you, you could have been protecting yourself from this energy that someone was sending your way of not only destruction and illusion, but separation as well, trying to separate you from someone that you love, okay? You're entering an era of your life where it is safe to love, okay? I'm hearing that song by Music Soul Child. Love, so many things I've got to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how. 'Cause there's a possibility that you look at me differently, love. Ever since the first moment I spoke your name, from then on I knew that by you being in my life, things were destined to change, love. Okay? That's a beautiful song. I'm gonna let him sing it. But if this has been a theme in your world of love, connection, love, union, being bombarded by outside forces, you might want to listen to that song and let it nurture your soul. It really is a beautiful one. Also, with this Aries energy coming through, Divine is saying that you can put your weapons down with your lover. Now, this is not your reading if this is a lover that has been constantly narcissistic and abusive and harming you and working against you. But this is about a love that has been challenged. A love that has been tried. And the love union itself has been abused by outside forces. True love breaks spells of separation. And celebrating that true love breaks the spell that has been working against you and your divine lover. Okay, let's take a look at this other card. Torn Garsuk. Okay. Oh, we got 9/11 on the timer. What's coming through this energy? Let's see. It feels like this is a very important one. A very important one with 9/11 coming through. Okay. So let's tune in and see. Prioritize sleep hygiene and rest to generate energy stores, emotional peace, and a focused mind. Respite will lead to the answers you seek. That does sound like an emergency message because it pertains to the root chakra, taking care of the body. The well-being card has been coming through one of these decks for the past couple readings. So taking care of the body and your well-being is absolutely needed at this time. And also, it can feel like we need more energetic protection than we actually need when we're not taking care of our well-being. When we're tired and worn down, that makes us very vulnerable to spiritual attacks, to psychic attacks. So just taking care of ourselves, just giving ourselves the care that we need, is a wonderful way to protect ourselves, okay? That doesn't even require spiritual warfare per se. It's just being good to ourselves. The world appears bleak, and problems are too much to bear when dealing with burnout, extreme tiredness, and sensory overload. Drift away into a deep sea of tranquility and find yourself waking up ready to face a new day with a refreshed sense of vitality and vigor. Action and goal setting are integral elements of a well-rounded life. They help to avoid atrophy and stagnation. Conversely, relaxation and enjoying life are of equal importance. Modern society has perpetuated the notion of striving for extreme productivity and success to avoid quote-unquote laziness. Yeah, that came through to me the other day. Rest is not laziness. It's a necessity. A hustle mentality has led to tiredness becoming a bragging right. It is time to release thought patterns that hinder your happiness and well-being and strive for balance. Resting does not make you lazy. You do not have to do anything to be worthy of relaxation. You are already everything you need to be. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there. These messages are really long. So I feel like that is what Spirit is really bringing through, though, is to prioritize giving yourself the care, the rest, and the relaxation that you need. And also, because it's one thing to rest, and it's another thing to be at peace with resting. What do we do with those thoughts that say, you shouldn't be resting? You've rested now for 10 minutes. You got so much stuff to do. What are you doing? That's what we have to let go of. That's where we have to create new patterns for ourselves. Patterns of freedom that allow us to be okay with not getting everything done on the list. And also maybe reorganizing our list of priorities. Where are we on that list of priorities? Where is our sleep hygiene on that list of priorities? Maybe we need to be up tippy top, you know what I'm saying? Instead of somewhere in the middle or down below, okay? All right, thank you, Spirit, for those messages. I appreciate that so much. Ashe. All right. Oh, yeah, they said the crows. The crows. Let's see what the crows are bringing through for this beautiful being. Thank you, Spirit. Survival. You know what? That's what's coming through, is that you've been in survival mode, because that's what requires battle. It's funny because we were watching Kingdom of Heaven today, and I'd never seen that, with Orlando Bloom. It was about the religious wars between the Christians and the Muslims, and it's so sad, all of the life that has been destroyed, or the blood that has been shed over religion, and also over territory and all of that. But this is extreme toxic masculinity, where we feel that we must battle and conquer our way through life. And it truly is in the mode of survival that a lot of people learn to live in a toxic way, because it's like, in order to eat, I might have to take you out. 1444 on the timer. This is an era of your life where you're reaching homeostasis. I forget what that means, but it's coming to me. I think homeostasis is something in science where it's about balance, I believe. I might research that a little bit when I'm editing. Balance. And it's also about renewal, because divine is saying that you've never felt this level of temperance before. You've never felt this level of patience with yourself before. This is a new day. Okay? Yeah, you see this wolf here, this fox. Yeah, some of y'all might have been interacting with some wolves, or may have felt attacked by some wolves. But this is a fox. And you know, a fox is not quite as assuming as a wolf. Of course, even humans are gonna tense up when they see a wolf. But when you see a fox, you might just be like, oh, look, and it's so cute. You assume that it's cute, right? You see that furry tail and everything. But that sucker is smart. They're clever, right? Because they have been, and I'm talking about human foxes, they have been in a state of survival where they are studying other beings and figuring out how they're going to survive. And they're going to survive at any cost. You've been encountering individuals like this. And so you've kind of been living under the you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing under the poverty line. And this doesn't have to be literal, but that's where an enemy wanted you. They wanted you in poverty. They've wanted you impoverished, but not just financially. You may have been just fine financially. They didn't want you fine financially, but they wanted you impoverished mentally, spiritually. I'm hearing creatively. That was the biggest thing. There's someone around you who wanted you impoverished creatively, because what I'm hearing is that you are extremely beautiful, very attractive, and it's this glow that you radiate. But your enemy, your competitor, the person who established themselves as your enemy, they can go to the spa, they can get their hair done, they can even get plastic surgery if they want to look what they think is more attractive or whatever. So they can mimic you in that way, where they can try to imitate your beauty. They can only do that to a certain level, though, because your beauty truly comes from your connection with the divine, and it's a vibe that you radiate that cannot be imitated. But to some extent, they have felt that they could imitate your beauty, but what they absolutely cannot imitate at all is your creative power. And that's how they wanted you impoverished. I'm seeing this line of flowers. It's like below the poverty line. I think that's something that people say, below the poverty line. That's where they wanted you, but in all areas, not just financially, but creatively, physically. Okay, some of them wanted you put out of your home. They wanted you homeless. They wanted you always needing something and desperate, so that you would have to look up to them, because they grew so tired of feeling like you were winning with everything. And the reason why you were winning with everything is because you weren't competing with them. If you had entered a competition with them, then you would have stood a chance of losing something to them. But you never wanted these people in your realm. You just wanted to do your soul's work and be the best being that you could ever be. So they wanted you in a state of survival, but that was them. They learned at a young age to be in a state of survival, and so they scoped you out as their main competition. Now, with the messages that we received from the Divine Masculine Oracle, what Divine is saying is that the spiritual warfare that you've been through, it's given you this natural layer of protection. And your greatest protection at this time is your creation, your willingness to continue to create, your willingness to get up and do what you are here to do what you are inspired to do. So the most beautiful thing about your mission now is that it can feel like rest. You know, it's like when I first started doing tarot readings, it felt like so much work because I wasn't used to being on camera. I wasn't used to freely sharing my thoughts and ideas. I had come from a 17-year-long career that kept me very rigid and overworking, and so I had to learn how to relax. I had to learn how to be free. And so now when I create in order to share on In Her Dreams, I feel like I'm resting. I feel like I'm just communing with the divine and sharing what comes through. And so your willingness to rest as you create is your biggest source of protection. It is the armor that you need the most, because they were saying that you don't necessarily need this hard armor that you had as you were battling and trying to survive. You still need protection. Everybody does, okay? But you gain protection now by doing the things that you are called to do, doing the things that you are led to do, and giving yourself the space and the freedom to do that in a restful state where you're not overworking yourself, where you're not telling yourself that you have to be consistent to the point where you're overworking yourself. You can be consistent and also allow yourself to rest. When you're tired, take a nap. Give yourself the sleep that you need. Nourish your body. Take time to work out or to be physically active and get your heart rate, you know, elevated and all that good stuff that we know we need to do, okay? All right, they're saying move along. Okay, Spirit. Let us sister know now, because I get to yappity yapping. You know, I was hearing that song today. It's an old one by Busta Rhymes. Woo-ha, I got you all in check. Okay, so there's something that just came to me. There's something so special about your voice. The vibe that I get from that whole song is like, you know, he's so proud of his throat chakra. And I feel like that's Busta Rhymes' vibe anyway. Oh, 22 on the timer, where he's like, I bust out with a rhyme, you know, and that's his gift, or one of them. And so that's one of your gifts as well, where you are able to use your voice, use your throat chakra to deliver a message, or to rhyme something, or sing something, or say something, share something somehow with your voice. Okay, also in that song, because I had to listen to it because I was like, okay, what's coming through here, Spirit? He talks about being a sure success. You are a sure success, beautiful being. And that's what divine really wants you to be confident in, is that as long as you align with the divine and you listen to Spirit, you are always going to be successful. And it's not about other people's standards of success. It's about your standard of success that you have confirmed with the divine. That means your success. Okay, perhaps your success for today is just creating what you set out to create. Or perhaps your standard of success for today is just simply putting out there what you were a little hesitant to put out there, but you checked with Spirit and they were like, it's supposed to be out there. So you do that. It's all about these quote unquote little successes that actually are huge, because they strengthen us and our abilities and our willingness to share and create and share and create and do it all over and over and over again. Okay? All right, Spirit, what's coming through for this beautiful being? What do they need to know? Things might feel a little messy right now. The way those cards were shuffling, it was a little messy. It wasn't like how it normally does. So Spirit says roll with it. Roll with it. Something might be changing with your routine. Let it change. Let it change. You've got 9 of Cups, 7 of Wands. Death. 9 of Swords. The High Priestess. Okay, we're going this direction. Oh, look at that. The Hanged Man and Ace of Pentacles. because from the very beginning, you were guaranteed your Nine of Cups. See, normally Nine of Cups would come at the end of a journey, but Divine is saying it was always a sure thing. Remember in the Busta Rhymes song, a guaranteed success, okay? Guaranteed success. That's why it shows up first. Your blessings were always going to be, okay? And when I say going to be, I'm talking about future blessings, but you always had blessings. Then we have Seven of Wands. You did have to protect yourself. You did have to protect yourself against this energy of death that was coming through, trying to end things for you. Okay, you did have to fight. You did have to protect yourself. There was definitely an energy there that was trying to overcome your blessings. And Divine is showing that you did this successfully. There is now this High Priestess here. This is not your energy, although I do feel that you are extremely intuitive. You have this High Priestess vibe, but I'm getting a very negative end of the spectrum here for this particular High Priestess. This is that same death energy that came in. So this bringer of death and destruction, they are now in the Nine of Swords. And the reason why they're being presented here as the High Priestess is because they're being forced to reflect on the magic that they have done in order to bring destruction. The negative energy that they have worked with demons and low vibe spirits in order to try to bring an end to your blessings. The Judgment card is here. Judgment Day is here for this High Priestess of Death. But what they didn't realize was that they were always reassuring in the spirit realm. They were confirming their own death and destruction. 2737. Because the more and more that they gave their efforts and their energy and their time to trying to spread endings to anyone who they saw with this Nine of Cups, with the blessings that you had, the more and more that they worked against you and other divine beings as well who were minding their business, the more they were just bringing themselves to their own end. You see, those spells that they worked against you, that energy that you had to be in the Seven of Wands with, that energy of endings that they brought to you, it didn't take you out. It challenged you just enough to make you grow. But it didn't take you out, because it was never meant to take you out. It was meant to take this High Priestess out. And because it did not impact you in a way where you came to an end, that energy has to go somewhere. It has to go somewhere. And it has returned to the sender. It has returned to the sender. I'm going to read this message that came through, because I had channeled a few things, but I only really refer to the things I've channeled if it comes through during the reading, because I just want to make sure that it's at the right time, that Spirit brings it through, that I'm sharing it. But as I was channeling, when I was getting ready for the reading, I heard it's time for sanctions because they disrespected your sanctuary. And I didn't know what sanctions meant. I was like, sanctions, what's that? I've heard it in like news reports, like when they talk about US sanctions and things like that, but I didn't know specifically what that word means. And so it's actually a really interesting word because it has two opposite meanings. English, right? English is such a crazy language to me, but anyway, one definition of sanction is penalty for disobeying a law or rule. Okay? So it's time for this person to serve the penalty, the punishment that they must pay for breaking spiritual law and for disrespecting your sanctuary, your home, your business, your love life, your mind, your aura, whatever it was that this person tried to bring an end to. See, that energy did not just go out there into the abyss, okay? They sent it to you. And your ancestors and spirit allies allowed you to experience that energy just enough and in just a way that would allow you to fully awaken and to transform into the beautiful chosen one that you are now. 3113 on the timer. But you see, 13 is about death. And so this cycle has come to an end where this person is able to send you this energy because you've gotten the lessons. That's why it's ending. You've earned this ending. It's not just ending because Spirit says, okay, it's time. You have brought this cycle to an end because of the work that you've done, because of the way that you've chosen to alchemize these attacks and to transmute them and to grow from them, to learn from this experience. That is why this cycle is coming to a close. Now, the other meaning of sanction is official permission or approval for an action. So what came through was this high priestess, this person who has been attacking you spiritually, they've asked to be pardoned, but their crimes are not forgiven. See, just like you worked with that energy of the attacks that this high priestess sent you, they now have to work through this karma that they are being dealt or that they have invited into their world, that they've created for themselves, because they can't just be pardoned like that. Every single attack with their words, with their thoughts, with their actions, with every single spell that they spoke over you, every single candle that they lit, every spell jar that they made against you, they are now being held accountable for. Every single spell. From the very first time that they saw you in this lifetime until the very last time, whatever the last time it was that they encountered your energy and spoke against it or worked against it. But also what's very interesting is that an energy this thick, this transformative for you, but I'm feeling it like the way it looks to me in the spirit realm is it's very thick. It's like a thick layer of dark energy. It has so many layers that have persisted through multiple lifetimes. So this is a person who has created karma for themselves in multiple lifetimes because of their actions that they've taken against you. So they're not just feeling what they've done in this lifetime. Because of the way that they've conducted themselves in this lifetime, they are also being held responsible for every single word or action they've taken against you in every lifetime since the beginning of time. And so it's hitting very hard. That's why they're in the 9 of Swords. That's a lot of swords. That's a lot of sleepless nights. And you know, you're going to be getting good sleep. Just like that card that came through, that energy coming through that was telling you to get good sleep. You're getting good sleep. 3444 on the timer. You're protected. But this being here is stuck in the Nine of Swords because judgment has been called. And as judgment is being called, there's a change that's happening for you. Okay? There's a change, a very positive change that's happening for you. You're getting your Ace of Pentacles. You're getting your new beginning. You're getting your time of growth. You're getting, it's like spring for you. So I know here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're heading into winter. I don't think we're in winter yet. I don't know, I gotta check the dates. I don't think we're in winter quite yet. But we're almost there. But you're heading into spring. This is your spring with your Ace of Pentacles. And I'm also getting that with this Ace of Pentacles, it's like a renewal of your Nine of Cups because you always had that. This was always guaranteed to you. Divine, tell us more about this new beginning for this beautiful being. What does it entail? What does it look like? What does it feel like? I knew it. I just knew it, beautiful being. Okay, so because of your willing, and I'm kind of like iffy on the word obedience, but because of your alignment, if you don't like the word obedience, maybe that's because when I was a little girl I was told to be obedient all the time. But I like the word alignment, okay? But if obedience works for you, cool. But because of your willingness to align with your true path, with your true destiny, okay? And even when the way was not clear and you couldn't see clearly, you trusted Spirit. When you were being so heavily attacked, I'm hearing hunted. When you were being hunted by this negative energy, this energy that wanted to bring nothing but endings and destruction to you, you prevailed and you aligned and you listened to Spirit, allowing the divine to lead you. That leads to fulfillment. Now, this isn't the first card that we've had for fulfillment because Nine of Cups is also for fulfillment. It is wish fulfillment. So that is your prize. That is your reward. Okay? This is your reward. 37 on the timer. And you know what this reward brings? Love. I keep getting that. You know how the Music Soul Child song came through and Divine was bringing, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I was shuffling the cards, this card flipped over. Divine was like, look at it, because it was face down. Love spells. So what I'm getting is that there were love spells done against you and your love life, period. Whether you already had an established lover that was in your life and they were trying to separate you from this lover, or if you had several options of people around you who were interested in you, or maybe one that was just a really high quality one. There was something in your life regarding love, and I'm getting romantic love here, so you'll know if this is your reading or not. But 38, okay, so this could deal with at least a very beautiful soulmate. Okay, I don't like to throw around the term twin flame, but it could be that, or at least a soulmate who is meant for you with 38 coming through. This is about love. Love is being restored in your life. Love is being confirmed. I'm hearing confirmed for you. This is a gift that you were always supposed to have. This is also card 10. So I'm getting the 10 of Cups, where you have 9 of Cups here, but I'm seeing this card as 10 of Cups because it is an emotional card with love connection here. And it's also the 10 card. So you get, with the 9 of Cups, you get love within, you get wish fulfillment about what it is that you love and what means a lot to you and what gives you emotional harmony and peace within. But you also get that with someone else. Now, for some of you, this could be a group of people, a community, or A group of people that you had harmony with, but there was someone who came between you and this group. And it could be that there's, you know, peace that's being restored there, but I'm not going to shy away from what is originally coming through to me. And that is that love, like romantic love. Okay, that's what I'm getting. And it's a beautiful love that is destined for you. But there was a lot of doubt that was placed on this love connection simply because it was a source of jealousy for this high priestess, this death bringer. It's more like a high priestess reverse. I really want to say that, you know, this high priestess reverse. They could have put illusions with this love spell energy. There could have been spells cast to make you think that something was a false connection, but it's a true connection. It's a divine connection. What else is coming through for this beautiful being, divine? Platonic passion. So this could, for some of you, this could be about a connection where it is with a family member or it is with a friend, okay? But reading the card, it says you didn't see it coming, but your heart is waking up to something deeper. The line between friend and lover is starting to get blurry. So this could be about 4141, the transformation of a relationship that was platonic, and now there's passion growing between you. That's also a possibility. Take what resonates, okay? Make a move. So that's what Divine was saying, was like, lean into this love, lean into this connection. They were saying, really, it's safe to love. I'm going to read that channeled message again. The wedge between you and your divine lover has dissipated. It's safe to lean in. Your celebration of true love breaks the spell of separation. Yeah, so you might be making a move, or your lover might be making a move, or you both might be moving towards each other. Okay? What else, Spirit? Okay, there could have been toxic talk between you, or toxic energy between you. That was the goal of the love spells. 4242 on the timer. And 42, that's 4 and 2, that's 6 and 6. So there was someone here who wanted you to be in your lower nature regarding your love connection. They wanted you to approach your love connection from a place of fear, from a place of doubt, from a place of toxicity and toxic patterns that perhaps stemmed from childhood experiences or from past lovers who had mistreated you or harmed you in some way. So these love spells were designed to keep you in that state of mind where there was fear. Oh, this person is treating me just like all the others. They're doing just like all the other ones. You're just like all the others. You know, it's like I can hear that being spoken in that toxic talk. Assuming the worst of a person because there were illusions being cast on your perception of this being, this divine being who's truly in your life for healing, for connection, for love. Because somebody wanted to fuck shit up. Somebody wanted to see you not happy. Someone wanted to not see you in this. It's almost like I'm seeing that this love connection is like a beautiful bubble of protection that allows you to freely create, to feel secure. But with the toxicity that they were sending your way, they wanted you to overlook the benefits of this love. They wanted you to overlook the magic of this love. And they didn't want you to feel your own magic because you were denying yourself of this love opportunity. Because there's something very special about this particular love connection that promotes your sense of security, which helps you to feel like you can relax and create. 4444 on the timer. This is about your protection. And this is about you feeling safe and secure. And you loving your state of creation. Your willingness to create and put things out there, because this love motivates you to do that. And it's not like you're building your world on a single relationship. It's not about that. It's that this love connection is a beautiful gift from the divine that is being rewarded to you so that you are more inspired and protected as you create. It's not that you have to have this love in order to create. It's that it makes your creations better. It makes your life better. It fulfills you and it enriches you and your person as well. So yeah, this witchy individual, this individual who tried to bring death and destruction, it feels like a feminine energy, but it could be in a male body. It could be a male or a female. It doesn't matter. Non-binary. It really doesn't matter what they look like. But their energy was one of death and destruction. And the way that they wanted to attack you, I'm getting that they wanted to attack you in multiple ways. For some of you, I'm getting that they wanted to attack you through your business. But it was definitely through your love. But divine is saying that you are protected. You are divinely protected as you move forward. All right, I'm going to close with, ooh, I got this stack here. Let me not spill them. Let me be careful. All right, we're going to close with a card with Mama Oshun. As I love that through her, the energy of love and abundance and beauty comes through so wonderfully, because that's truly her frequency, right? That's who she is. So let's see what she wants to bring through for you, beautiful being. Thank you, Mama Oshun. What are you bringing through for this beautiful, divine, creative, excellent, awesome, magical being? What's coming through? Ooh, oh, I like this one. This is one of my favorites. Okay, she being wild today. She said, Oshun the Scandalous. This is about being brazen, audacious, and fearless. This is card 29. And you know what I love about this? Is that it is like an energy of protection. You being audacious. You having the audacity to do whatever it is that you are called to do. That right there is a form of protection without being so guarded and cold and like, oh, I'm gonna fight whoever I need to fight. It's not like that type of protection. It's more like, I ain't thinking about you. You sent me a spell. I ain't even feel that shit, honey, because I'm over here living my best life. Okay, it's more like that. It's the kind of protection that you have because you are just so focused on you and on your blessings and on this fulfillment and on your love and whatever else it is that brings you joy. Okay, so this is like a different type of protection. It's not like that and I said cold, like having a cold heart, but really that Aries energy is so hot. It's like, you know, kind of like that Mars energy where it's like, I will fight. You know what I'm saying? And there is a time for that. But divine is leading you to another stage where your protection, it comes from within, because it's divine and it's connected to your creative energy and your willingness to focus on your purpose here on earth. That is what protects you, is your willingness to create, your willingness to flow in your divinity and not think about who throwing a spell and doing this and the that and you ain't got time for that. And they're about to realize that they don't have time for it either, because they're getting caught up. It's judgment day for them. So all right, Oshun the Scandalous. Brazen, audacious, fearless. I embrace every part of who I am. That is the mantra. I embrace every part of who I am. Let them talk, baby. In many timelines and cultures, it is scandalous for the divine feminine to be bold, brazen, and fearless. And remember, we all have feminine and masculine energy. You are being called to lean into this energy. That's the second time divine said lean into something. Remember that channel message said lean into this love? I love you, Spirit. This is the energy of well-behaved women seldom make history. Oshun the Scandalous comes bearing a message of empowerment and fearless action. She invites you to step boldly into your personal power, unapologetically embracing your desires, your dreams, and your ambitions. This is not a time for hesitation or self-doubt. It's a time for audacious moves and unflinching self-assurance. You don't have to self-doubt. You don't have to doubt yourself or your path, okay? That's what this chaos magic was supposed to do, but it's a no. Oshun the Scandalous is here to remind you to take up space. Whether you're contemplating a major life change, seeking to express yourself more fully, or itching to step out of your comfort zone, her energy imbues you with the courage to act. Step up, gorgeous. Caution. Embracing a scandalous life can be liberating, but it's crucial to maintain balance. Avoid reckless behavior or harm to yourself and others. Make mindful choices that align with your values and well-being. Balancing your pursuit of scandalous living is essential. Okay? And I know you know about balance because you've had to do that. You've had to create balance in your world when you were constantly being attacked. So I know that you are mindful and aware, but yeah, you are stepping out in a big way and you're living your life the way you want to. You're loving who you want to. You're loving who you feel led to love. You're not, and see, that's another thing is when you feel free to love, oh my gosh, that's when love gets really good. When you allow yourself to trust and just be like, this is what I feel. When I'm not afraid, when I'm not caught up in some dizzy spell or something like that, or something that somebody's trying to send my way, because I feel like there could have been times like that where you felt the impact of someone else's energy, but you're learning how to move beyond that. You're stronger than that now. And you're like, you realize that you deserve to feel what you're led to feel by the divine, not what somebody else is throwing at you. You will never go back to those days. Ever. All right, beautiful being, I'm so grateful that you tuned in. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. I hope that this message brought you clarity and insight and good vibes, and I love you, and I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.